as Colin said, we had a couple of tough matches at home this weekend. We had Wichita State, a very good Wichita State team on Friday night, and the people that were there, and we had great crowds, by the way, so thank you for the support. It was awesome, but they're a very big physical team, and we actually started off pretty good. The only thing I would say in game one, we ended up winning game one, but I felt strongly that we were working really hard to get our points, and we were giving up some very easy points, which obviously that's going to catch up to you at some point. But very proud of our start. I think as the match went on, we did not do a good job of keeping Wichita State out of system, which means they were passing the ball both defensively and in serve receive very well, which put a lot of stress on our defense. They have a lot of options, as you could tell. We had no answer for one of their middles, actually both of their middles, but Ashley Andrade actually hit over 700 and led in kills for them, and we had no answer for her. Even when we'd commit on her, she was very capable of still putting the ball away, so it seemed like we were leaving other people open and committing on her and weren't shutting down either one of them when they were in system. So a lot of difficulty defending her. We also struggled with their setter a little bit. But we hung in there, I thought, pretty well for most of the match, maybe just a little bit inconsistent. I think the biggest thing for us as coaches in Game 4, it was the first time this year where I wouldn't necessarily say we gave up, but we definitely, I could have the feeling of, you know, we don't have a chance at this and we're not going to win this and the game is over type feeling. And that was a pretty sick feeling for us as coaches, obviously, because we definitely are not about that as a program or a team. You know, we don't want to give up until the last possible point, and we had a little bit of that on Friday night. The other side of that is we knew going into Saturday it was going to be another very tough match, and having that kind of feeling at the end of the Wichita State match was not good for us, and we talked a little bit about that in the locker room, but we had to have a really quick turnaround to get prepared for Missouri State. The first game of Missouri State, obviously, it showed that we were kind of still in that mode. It was a struggle for us. I think we weren't executing well. Things were definitely not going our way, and Missouri State was playing great. So a very tough first game. We turned around, and I definitely felt like we battled in the second game. We were doing a lot of things a little bit better. But we lost a very close game, 25-23, and that almost made it a little bit worse because now, you know, I think our kids felt they turned their effort around, they made some changes, and we still came up short. So going into the locker room, really didn't know, actually, even when we left the locker room, what kind of feeling our kids really had, but really, really proud of the effort and the change that they made. And obviously that third game, we had a really good third game. A lot of things were actually going our way. Part of it was our execution, and part of it was we were getting some big breaks, I'm not going to lie. So we won a pretty significant third game. So the biggest thing that I'm proud of is actually our fourth and fifth game, because the fourth game was exactly like the second, back and forth, battling for every point, and I thought our kids really did a nice job of hanging in there to be able to hold on to that fourth game and turn it into a fifth game match. The fifth game, like I've said many times, there's a lot of pressure in that fifth game, and this was the first time I think we've responded extremely well in a fifth game scenario. We had no errors. And as I've said many times up here, that is one of our weaknesses right now, is we have far too many errors, and we had none in a fifth game. And it wasn't because we were being careful, which obviously you can be in a fifth game. I thought we went after it, we were aggressive, and we were able to hit 625 in that game, which was huge for us. So a big, big match for us. I think it's one of those matches that, you know, if that doesn't feed into your confidence, I don't think anything will. So hopefully that will be a good thing for us going on to the next few weeks of conference play. I would like to point out a couple performances. I thought Erica had an amazing weekend. She led us in kills both matches, but besides that, she hit 333, which is a very good percentage for an outside hitter. Not one of her strengths, her hitting percentage. So for her to step up and have that kind of match both nights against two really good teams, I'm very proud of her effort. Kayla Hainline came in against Wichita State when we were struggling in the middle and provided a big spark for us. She hit over 600, so it was really good to see that she could come in a pressure situation like that and perform well. So very proud of her for that. Lee Pudwell on the pin continues to just improve for us. Offensively, she's doing a lot of things where she's making improvements with the type of attacking she has, but I think her biggest asset right now has been her blocking. She actually led our team in blocks, which that's hard to do as a pin because she's not involved in every play as a blocker, but she led our team in blocks and really came up. In some of those blocks were at key times where we really needed it. So she's just keeps performing better and better each time. Kinsey, we added or changed our lineup a little bit this week. We had a week to prepare for it. We basically flip-flopped some people just because we think it's going to be the better thing for the future as we move on down the road. And Kinsey did a nice job of keeping that all intact over the weekend, especially when things don't go well. You can start blaming the lineup and start doing things a little bit on that side. And I thought Kinsey did a nice job of just taking control and still keeping our offense very balanced, which is very important for our team, obviously. And then our backcourt, I don't give them credit enough. They have just been steady for us all year. That was definitely coming into the season supposed to be one of our biggest weaknesses, and I think they've just done a nice job of continuing to grow together. Amy, Amanda, and Haley, and when Ashley gets in there, she does a great job. So very proud of their effort in the backcourt this weekend as well. Going into this next week, as Colin said, we have our last non-conference match of the season against South Dakota State at 6 o'clock, and we have not seen our kids since late Saturday night, so I'm not really sure what kind of preparation physically we'll have for South Dakota State on the court today. It kind of depends on how we're feeling, but we'll be watching video today for sure on them and get an opportunity to see what we need to do to be successful. And then we turn around on Saturday and have who's our travel partner now, Drake. And obviously the interstate matches always provide a lot of excitement for us. We always have a good match at Drake or with Drake. It doesn't matter if one of us is the top, one of us sits the bottom. It's always an extremely competitive match, and part of that is, I'm sure, because of the interstate rivalry, but we're really looking forward to bringing Drake to town as well. So 2 weekends in a row at home. Our kids are really excited. It's nice to be in our own beds and get the opportunity to have our amazing home crowd, which it was great last weekend, and we're hoping for the same on Tuesday and Saturday. Any questions?